Okay, if you let me draw your attention to the map on the bottom screen for a second, I just explored the tile there, and I may have bugged out the FOEs. They haven't moved since I jumped through the shortcut, so I don't know if they're gonna move when I step into this room or not. No, did I just completely bug them?
It's an FOE!
They're not moving. They're just like, I'm sure they went that way, but we just need to wait here and they'll come back through the wall any second now. Heh heh heh, we so smart. They'll never see it coming. Goodbye, stupid FOEs. that was interesting. I'd never seen them do that before. Yeah, no, I guess they were. I mean, the bottom one couldn't move, but I guess the top one was trying to move first, and I don't know. Anyway, last time we mostly finished up exploring End of a Pride Exhibit Night 2. There's still a couple of tiles here that we can't access until we get to the 3rd floor. But now we're going to actually be doing side quests, but I guess I'll do this stroll conversation first. Of course, here comes the inevitable argument between Akihiko and Shinjiro about, I knew they'd do this. They're gonna ask Aigis to calculate precisely to the millisecond what time they both passed out.
What is it?
Well, unless it's a draw. It's funny, weird tangent, but, back in the day when I first discovered the concept of draws, which was in chess, I never liked using the term no one wins. I preferred to use the term everyone wins. I think in actual official chess competitions, both people get half a point for a draw. So yeah, technically the everyone wins is a little bit more accurate.
Huh?
Is there something wrong?
No, they're just continuing their dumb childhood rivalry. Oh yeah, Kanji and Naoto happen to be passing by together. Shipping, I'm sorry.
What did you say? Damn it. What?
Honestly, that is fairly true, but I don't think there's an Olympic passing out in front of fire competition.
I see.
What?
Let's see.
Yeah, Shinjiro is definitely a case of not so stoic around, Akihiko and other people he grew up with sometimes. I do kind of like that aspect of him, though, and it's one we never really got to see much back in P3. So what Kanji is saying is sometimes men are stupid. Well, Gary Stu has a totally different idea of what a man's dream is, and that is, seducing every single woman in the entire world. That is very true. Unfortunately, they didn't suffer any ill effects from a gameplay standpoint for doing what they did, otherwise that would have been really bad. And we have one more stroll conversation. Yukari wants to be brave, but we're already out of the Evil Spirit Club.
Jeez.
I don't think Aigis is around. Well, I guess someone else is around, though. Oh, Teddy's here too. This is like, it's like, all of my friends are here. Teddy came too.
What?
Huh? I can't believe this.
There's actually a Persona 4 exclusive stroll conversation called Competitive Sarcasm between Yukari and Yosuke that I was hoping to show that, but before I had a chance to record it, I completed the dungeon and that event just disappeared.
What?
Just like
No.
Junpei, Yosuke can be surprisingly insightful sometimes. And Rise can be surprisingly blunt sometimes, but she does often tell people what they need to hear.
Okay. Huh.
Again, Rise is just giving some really good insight here. I was just, again, thinking of this in D&D terms, and that Rise is probably not the kind of character you'd expect to have high wisdom, but she probably does have pretty high wisdom, she just doesn't use it all that often. Because I always kind of headcanon the Navigator abilities as working off of wisdom, so I kind of imagine Rise and Fuka would have that stat pretty high. And speaking of high wisdom, her high passive perception let her notice that we were here.
What? Stop it, jeez.
I wish you'd talk to me about certain things. For various
Jeez.
reasons. That is kind of true. I don't think Teddy's going to be able to keep this a secret for very long. I imagine Teddy's probably not very good at keeping secrets. It's still bugging me that the map is saying 99%, but we can't do anything about that for now. So let's head to the nurse's office. I've already unloaded my stuff at the... Actually, no, I went back into the labyrinth and got some more power spot items, so I need to sell those. Okay, yeah, so there are requests with time limits. So let's take the request... Wait a minute, I thought that we'd have a new... Okay, that's really weird. Investigate the Evil Spirit Club should have opened now, because it says enter Innova Pride Exhibit Night... What? I have access to Innova Pride Exhibit Night 3, that is extremely weird. Actually, let me just try something, unless I have to go until there's a cutscene on Night 3? Because that's what I wanted to do in this part. I wanted to do the Golden Shadow for the Evil Spirit Club. That is really weird. It should have unlocked now. Well, I guess we're briefly exploring the beginning of Night 3 now. Can't pass through there. Still have the exact same music. Okay, this event right here is actually really unique. And on this playthrough, I might...
Hey there!
Oh. Right. So, funny that I'm getting Teddy for this. I guess this counts. So, what this event does is a party member that you haven't used in a long time talks to you and complains about not being used. And, of course, I got Teddy. I wouldn't say lovable, so I have to choose this option.
Okay. Boo!
Okay, so yeah. And I guess we can come back again if I've used Teddy more. Yeah, I don't think I've had a lot of experience with this event. It is in the art book though, and every single character has a unique response for it. So yeah, if for some reason you get Naruto for that, I don't know what's wrong with your playstyle, but
We get to move
anyway,
first. Is that DNA? A DNA shadow?
we actually have a new enemy here, the Mark Wheel. This thing is important for a request. It's resistant to wind, but we have to defeat it with wind to get it to drop a certain item. It's conditional drop the Fluffy Tail. But yeah, of course they'd make you defeat it with something it's resistant to. What is it actually weak to? I only remember what it's resistant to because of the side quest. Oh, Ice and Dark. Exactly the same as the previous Wheel Shadow. Okay then. The weird thing about Myriad Arrows is that it can actually continue hitting the same enemy after that enemy is already dead, which, of course, does waste a lot of hits from it. Star Drop is annoying. It's actually the most powerful version of that skill Shinjiro started with. The one that lowers the enemy's defense for the rest of the turn, and these things are kind of fast enough to make use of it. But not if they miss.
Execution complete.
Yeah, overkill. Let's see if we can get any better personas out of this, though. It's still... Okay, Triglav, who I already had before, but I guess you're pretty decent sacrifice fodder. Gonna have to get rid of Flauros, I guess.
That was a good fight. I hope you'll lead us well again.
So this is another one of these suspiciously empty square rooms. I wonder what that could mean. Yeah, we'll be seeing that later.
Stay on guard.
Actually, I'll light it from here, so I've got more spaces left in it.
This way.
Okay, I wonder if this is what we need to see in order to unlock that quest. Yosuke, you shouldn't speak too soon. This floor introduces a fairly infamous puzzle.
Wonder what's in it.
And I guess I can uncover that shortcut too, but I guess while we're here I can show this. If we examine the map completion chest, yep, they finally went there. You knew they'd do it sooner or later. This is the first floor in the game that covers the entire space allocated for a map, so yeah, this is going to be a big one. A very, very big one. And like I said, they're going to introduce a pretty infamous puzzle here. While I'm here, I might as well finish up exploring this room and this part of it.
Fire's gone out.
Oh, I remember this part. So, right here, this is going to be a central hub of sorts. We have a little T section with 3 shortcuts that are not open as of yet.
There are 3 shadows. It's Nobunaga.
What is it with Yukiko and Sengoku era generals? I forget what exactly in P4 established that she had an interest in that, but it definitely seems like that's kind of one of her hobbies. But I almost feel like that thing's more like Mitsuhide than... No, not Mitsuhide. More like... What's the name of the guy with the Darth Vader helmet? And I'm not exaggerating. Darth Vader's helmet was actually based off of that guy. What is it? The one-eyed guy? Is it? It's not... Masamune? I think it's Date Masamune. But yes, look at a picture of Date Masamune and then look at a picture of Darth Vader. I think George Lucas did point out that Darth Vader's helmet was actually directly based off of that guy.
Oh, a rare enemy. Mitsuda-senpai can't run or dodge right now.
I must increase my defenses.
Gary Stu-senpai does not care. Because Yu Narukami-senpai is going to destroy everything.
Battle's over. Nice fighting, guys.
Yeah, I'll be switching to a different party after this. Okay. Okay, so if I'm reading my map I prepared earlier right, there's barely
There's a
anything through
power spot
here.
up ahead. Why don't we take a look at it?
But we
It
can
appears
find
to be
new
a
items
treasure
from the
box.
power spots
Should we
here,
check its
lilies and
contents?
chrysanthemums, which are actually needed to make some new items at Theodore's. Yep, can't pass through this side. So that's as far as I'll take this for now. And now, hopefully, that cutscene should have unlocked the request from Elizabeth. One of the few times that, I mean, if this does turn out to unlock now, it'll be one of the few times the SNT wiki has actually been wrong. We can buy beads. They're expensive, but they might be nice to have in a pinch. Medical kit, though, is also very useful. 300 HP for one row, and I believe this next boss we'll be fighting does use a ton of... This is kind of overkill, but let's actually go for that. I probably don't need that. And I may only need 2 of these, not 3. Oh, I made a big mistake. I definitely need more Patra Gems, because, yeah... This boss, if I am going to be fighting in this part, is one of the gold shadows I remember the least about. But I just looked up what it can do. And it can petrify you, so obviously I'm taking Patra Gems. Oh, I thought we could buy the homunculus now. This may also be useful for this next fight. 2 or 3. I'll actually take 3, though I might sell some of these back afterwards, because I am running out of inventory space. The inventory management is kind of interesting because you can either... You can fill up on a lot of healing items, but that means you won't be able to... It means you won't be able to carry a lot of enemy drops, and thus you won't be making as much money from each trip into the labyrinth. There we go! Okay, so... it doesn't actually count you setting foot on the 3rd floor until you go through that first fire door and see the cutscene about Yukari being sweaty, apparently. Oh, okay, that is also new. Right. Got a lot of side quests we can do here. I suppose I can accept them all. So let's go for Box Full of Shadows.
Are you...
This one's very, very simple, and in fact, I might make this one pretty quick by bringing Naoto. Naoto can really trivialize this. So, there are 5 shadow fights in a row inside this box. Yes, Elizabeth, you are all-powerful. Why don't you exterminate them all yourself? That is such a good opportunity for you.
I will be counting on
Yeah, if Elizabeth did this, they would not stand a chance at all. They would just instantly take 9,999 damage from Megadol on. And I suppose I can accept this one too. I was alluding to this request earlier. This request is only available if you did the Find Out What Zitten Wants request earlier on, so make sure you do that one. And the reward from this is very much worth your while.
And that is all.
So now we need to talk to
It
Theodore.
may be good for you to hear what Theo has to say. Well then.
Even Elizabeth ships Zen and Ray. And now, investigate the Evil Spirit Club.
Thank you for accepting.
One more spatial void has appeared.
It seems as though...
And there's an unknown shadow present there. You probably have a good idea what the accessory will do that we get out of this. It's basically just, like, they just get stronger and stronger, the Mirrored Authority and, you know, those badges. But they're a pretty sizable boost to all stats. Okay, so, let me see what party I want to use. This upcoming fight with the Soul Seeker, it's called, is, okay, it's not resistant to pierce attacks, and it's not resistant to agility bind. Okay, I already know what I'm going to be using here. In fact, this is going to be a lot of money, but I did make quite a bit of money from my visit last time. Also, I need to go back to Theodore anyway. So this is for that request, but what I'm really here for is to buy that accessory that gives you power charge. Because if I equip that to whoever's going to be using Myriad Arrows, this should be interesting. This boss has... oh yeah, it's got 12,000 HP. I don't feel bad using a Myriad Arrows power charge strategy at all. So, this Cyclops we've actually fought before, and in fact, we actually got this material before once by accident, but I sold it, because it doesn't stop you from selling something if it's from a future request. We don't have the Monado, after all. We can't see when an item is going to be vital to a future side quest. So, you need to Magic Bind a Cyclops and get that, I believe it's called the Hanged Thorn. That's its conditional drop for being defeated while it's magic bound. I already have quite a lot of personas with Binding Hands, so it shouldn't be too hard to do this. But like I said, what I'm actually here for is to grab that Spirit Ring. Let's not equip that right now, because I want to equip that on a powerful physical attacker. The boss is also weak to ice, so I'm going to use a combination of that and possibly Mind Charge buffed... Which would mean I have to use Mitsuru, actually, because I think she's the only one. No, Naruto has Mind Charge. So I could go for Mind Charge buffed Icy Paradise at the same time. And this is going to be very fun. So, yeah, for this, I'm going to bring... Naruto's already pretty high in the experience departments. Everyone's leveled up quite a bit from all these requests we've been doing. But let's see. I'm incredibly tempted to go for the Aigis or Gear mode strategy. The main problem with this is this boss does have Mudaon and Mamudaon. I guess I have the Homunculi for that, though. Yeah, so... Aigis, and then... I did give... It's either Naoto or Mitsuru who I'm going to use for that. I suppose Mitsuru has less experience, but who has the higher magic stat, actually? Mitsuru does, but I haven't used Naoto for a little while, so I might as well put Naoto in the party. Next we will bring... How about a Magic Luck Reverse Yosuke to go ahead and attempt to bind this thing. And then Koromaru, because resistance to dark is important. That's the other reason why I want to use Naoto here. Resist dark, resist dark. You are unfortunately weak to dark, but there's nothing I can do about that, because you have to be in my party at all times, because P3 routes. Admittedly, Teddy also has good luck, and he has ice, so now's one of the few times he's useful, and he complained about not being used. You know what, let's actually bring Teddy. So, dueling mascots, Naoto, Aigis, and Garistu. Let's do this. For support, I'll keep it with Vuka. And as for personas, I guess I can show this while I'm here. Aigis will obviously take Tam Lin. Teddy will take... Let's see. I guess I'll go for Aura Une. Naoto will take Black Frost, because she can potentially Mind Charge an Icy Paradise right into this boss's face. And Koromaru will take... I guess Koromaru can take you. And you'll take Pabilsag. I probably want to do some fusing and sacrificing the Velvet Rune, but I might do that in the next part, because this part's already going to be cluttered as is. So, what should we take on first? The box full of shadows, or the... Yeah, let's take on the Seeker last. But we'll save first, obviously. I'm doing a sacrifice here just to get some personas out of my list, and also so that I can go ahead and replace Double Link on Tam Lin with Triple Link. Oh, you learn Endure as well. So, in addition to all the other ways Tam Lin is overpowered, it also lets its wielder survive being KO'd once per battle. Yeah. The reason why I wanted to clear up space, though, is because of Rakshasa. I may not have enough money to do this, but I probably will after the shadow fight. Because if I sacrifice some personas to power up Rakshasa... Let's see if this is enough. Zanshinken is not what I want here. That is what I want. Let's get a Seiryu scale. Because I obviously want to register Rakshasa right now. As you can see, Shura Tensei is Rakshasa's skill card ability. It'll probably be... Oh yeah, that is very expensive, for good reason. So I can't get that just yet. But if I'm gonna use this strategy against this boss, I might as well go all out. Okay, we can conveniently get to the box full of shadows from
An
that
enemy, I believe.
shortcut.
We'll have to be careful about this.
I will be going on ahead.
I've located a power spot. Shall
Let's
we go
grab
to
some
it?
of these to hopefully get enough money for the skill card. Okay.
Sounds
All right.
And neither of you are going to be in this fight. Let's open it with the ominous key. And round one, fight.
There are 3 shadows.
3 battle wheels.
Catmobile!
Okay then. So, these things are all weak to dark. Yeah. This fight is not gonna last long at all with Naruto on our side. Yeah, that's what I said, Naruto kind of trivializes this challenge. I sort of wish they gave you combinations of shadows for this side quest that were not weak to instant death, but that's kind of how it goes.
Kakuna Hikuna!
If this doesn't end the battle right now, I'll be very surprised.
Perfection!
There we go. So that's round 1 down.
We settled that quickly.
Oh yeah, we'll be getting a lot of items out of this. Thank you, Cornucopia. Wait, no, it's not Cornucopia, it's Hunting Prayer.
Careful.
Round 2.
There are 3 shadows.
My weapon is ready.
It is, because 3 iron dice. Guess what? They're all weak to. Yeah. Once again, Naruto is overpowered. Yeah. I feel bad for doing this, but I kind of want to show how much Naruto breaks this side quest, just like she breaks pretty much everything else in the game.
Kakuna Hikuna! It's over.
And there we go.
We settled that quickly.
Aegis, ready for battle.
The voice clip kind of missed the line there. Anyway, round 3.
There are 3 shadows. A samurai!
Okay, Teddy. That's a weird way to put that. But anyway, this time we have 1 thing that isn't weak to death and 2 things that are weak to death. So this should also probably not last that long. But I guess I could try and go for a lethargy circle and maybe some bolt link view. I'm not going to have Naruto use Mamuto on this time, because I want to give him a chance now. This whole side quest reminds me a little bit of the obelisk fights in Mega Man Battle Network 3. That seems like a weird comparison, and I only know that because I've watched a playthrough. I haven't actually played that game myself, but there's a few of them in Battle Network 2 as well, like where you fight just a whole ton of random encounters in a row. This isn't nearly as ridiculous as some of them. Like, some of the ones in Battle Network 3 were like 20 enemy fights in a row, and they were a lot more dangerous than these ones. So I kind of wish this was more like that, and I actually use some creative enemy combos. Rather than just spamming a bunch of things that are all weak to instant
There are
death.
2 enemies left.
The enemy's making their own plan.
That is one thing that I will say about this game overall, is that I do find the basic enemies generally aren't that, like, threatening apart from the Evil Spirit Club. For all I say about the Evil Spirit Club, and for all the flack it gets for completely destroying newcomers, I kind of respect some of the enemy combos in the Evil Spirit Club for being incredibly dangerous. But every other labyrinth, except for, well, I think you've probably figured out by now the End of a Pride exhibit is not the final dungeon. Because anytime something in a game pretends to be the final dungeon, it usually isn't. The final dungeon does have some legitimately dangerous
Exiting
enemies.
battle mode.
But most of the random enemies in this game I don't really find that bad. I know there are some RPGs out there that actually have
Looking good.
really creative
Good luck, everyone.
combos of basic enemies. Like, you know, taking this game into account.
There's 5 enemies. That's so many.
It's Catmobile!
You can have, for example, an enemy type that goes, like, that tries to panic you, and then another one that uses a multi-hitting physical attack. I mean, that'd be really evil, but it would also be it'd also be kind of cool, and yeah, that is one aspect of this game I do feel like, and it's also partly why Naruto's so overpowered, and it's also partly due to instant death being so overpowered, and a lot of enemies being weak to it, but yeah, basic enemies, I mean, you've got to strike a balance though, because for example, I do feel like vanilla Persona 4, not Golden fixed it considerably, but vanilla Persona 4, yeah, thank goodness it hit the 2 lines, so I was worried that we were going to have it hit everything except the one that was weak to situation. What I was saying is that the enemies in Yukiko's Castle in vanilla Persona 4, I feel they were a bit too strong for an early game dungeon. Namely, you had enemies that repelled all magic, or nulled all magic, or something like that, in the first dungeon. It was... I felt like it was a little bit unfair.
Reloading complete.
So you do have to strike a balance, yeah, and of course so random tangent here, but I guess you tend to like those. At the moment I'm currently watching that is redundant, but no. I'm currently watching a speedrun of Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. It's not just a speedrun, it's a speedrun on hard mode with the True Demon ending, and it takes about 14 hours. The guy who plays it is actually the same guy who set the world record for this game on P3 Root Risky, so he definitely likes Shin Megami Tensei games, and I actually really like his commentary. His name is Pink Pajamas, screen name anyway. But, yeah, he's doing this because he said that he finds it fun, which probably makes him a masochist, but, yeah. There are some pretty dangerous enemy combos in that game, like, you know, Succubi that can use Sleep plus Eternal Rest, which, you know, the Ghastly Whale Fear combo in Persona, which instantly kills enemies that are affected by fear? Okay, good, we got a finish bonus out of that. In some SMT games, Eternal Rest instantly kills foes who are asleep, which obviously is not good with enemies that just put you to sleep, and yeah, that can be really bad. Great. I think the next one is the last one. Round 5.
There's 5 enemies, but so many.
Teddy rocks all faces!
Can he rock these die faces? More enemies that are partially weak to instant death. Yeah. So yeah, overall this is not a particularly difficult side quest, especially since you get all of your sub-persona SP and HP back at the end of every battle. If you didn't, this might actually be dangerous, but as it stands, it's not really. Let's just go for Mahama on here. There is one other thing about this game that I haven't actually really talked about yet, but I guess I can mention it now, is that your SP management is kind of the exact opposite of the main Persona games. Because in the main Persona games, SP is mainly meant to deter you from being in a dungeon for too long. Tartarus and the Persona 4 dungeons are kind of not designed to be done in a single day, which is why a max social link run of P4 early on is incredibly annoying, because you're expected to complete the dungeon in a single day, but the game is not really designed with that in mind.
Damage is at a critical level. I am alright.
I've already heard this conversation.
No need to worry.
I want to save my navigator meter for the fight, so I guess I can use I suppose I can use one of my medical kits. What was I saying? Oh yeah, about SP. So, basically, you run out of SP very quickly if you explore a dungeon for an extended period of time. Yet, against bosses, you're not as likely to run out of SP, because you usually have enough of a reserve to last you the whole fight. In this game, though, you're extremely unlikely to run out of SP during normal exploration, unless you're in the early floors of the Group Date Cafe, where there's the SP draining floor tiles. You get a sort of a pool of SP from your sub-persona that replenishes every battle. But because you don't get that replenishment during boss fights and single enemies, and because magic costs an enormous amount of SP in this game,
Well done.
you actually are far more likely to run out of SP against bosses than you are during exploration. So again, it's the exact opposite of the main Persona games, which I find really interesting. I kind of like that it's that way though, because this is more of an Etrian Odyssey game from a gameplay standpoint, and it's more focused on long delves into dungeons, and if you ran out of SP quickly during your dungeon delving, it would make the game a lot less fun to play, so I'm kind of glad it works that way.
You appear to be in pain.
Anyway, I actually want to stay here and try and get the Hanged Thorn from the Cyclops, so I'll see you when one of those shows up. I think they're more common earlier in the floor.
Teddy's snoring. His defense has decreased greatly.
I finally scored.
Of course, that would be what Teddy's dreaming about.
You're almost
And considering
out of
that
room to hold
he
any more
didn't
items.
score except in
Watch
his
your
dreams,
inventory.
does that count as Teddy owned? That counts. There we go. There's one.
3 shadows.
Here I go.
Okay, Silent Circle. Let's see. Silent Circle. I don't want to use Instant Death just yet. Salome's Kiss. Of course, getting kissed by Teddy would inflict a ton of status elements on you. Okay, it's already magic bound. Now I can safely use Mamuron.
Summoning Palladian.
We can at least see what this does, though. Got the other 2 binds. Yeah, so it is magic bound, but it's everything bound. Oh, haven't actually found out that this thing is weak to Mudor, but it is, trust me. As we'll hopefully find out right now.
Persona.
This will probably miss a lot. Except against that, because it's agility bound. Okay, there we go. That should get us the item. I'll need to drop something because my inventory is full, but that will allow us to complete the quest.
It's over.
And that fight is done. Let's go.
Good, we won. Let's continue to work hard.
All right. This makes me happy.
And Fuka has learned her final skill, and she actually keeps healing Breeze, so if you don't want to spend as many Navigator gauges, you can use that instead of healing Tide. Yeah, there's the Hanged Thorn, and that's the one that we need to keep. And yes, they're going to tell us to meet with Ray now. Let's head back. One more side quest to go. So, let's... Oh, should we save this for last? I should probably save that for last. Which means I'm going to have to individually sell everything but the Hanged Thorn at the workshop, because I really want to get that Shura Tensei skill card. Thankfully, Theodore does warn you. So let's don't do that. We also have a couple of Persona materials to sell too.
What do you all think?
With that we get Suzaku Feather. Now I've heard this can be quite fun with Yukiko. Oh, I thought that said Viridi's boots for a second there. Let's not sell the Hanged Thorn. Okay, yeah, Suzaku Feather, which does fire damage. Now, with Fire Boost or Fire Amp, Yukiko will actually hit pretty hard physically with this, especially if you give her a Magic Strength reverse, so that can be kind of a fun tactic sometimes. In fact, I may actually buy this for her. Okay, that was actually poor planning. I had to get rid of a lot of my medical kits because I really, really, really want to extract this skill card. Here it is, Shura Tensei. Or sort of like Demon Awakening. Shura is a really hard word to translate, because it can mean a lot of different things. It's a specific Japanese mythological thing. But, yeah, it's been translated in various different ways in games, like Oni Chieftain in Fire Emblem Fates, Demi-Fiend in Persona, in Shin Megami Tensei 3 for Hitoshura, or Human Shura, which is what it was called in Japanese. But, regardless of all of that, I guess it's gonna break the game very, very soon. We will be heading back into the Evil Spirit Club for the last time, actually. I did say we'd be coming back here later, but yeah, back in the Evil Spirit Club, but for real, this is the last time we need to be here. Hi there! That legitimately startled me a bit. I didn't expect you to be in front of the operating room. I expected you to be in the operating room. Kind of fits for the horror-themed dungeon to have its gold FOE jump scare you.
This might be a little dangerous. Please be careful. Aigis, ready for battle.
Yes, you certainly are. This is gonna be incredibly fun. Gonna go ahead and save here. Do I have someone with Mataru Kaja? I don't think I do, actually. Yeah, you don't have Mataru Kaja. You have Mataru Kaja. I kind of prefer someone else using it, honestly. Actually, I had it on Skadi, didn't I? Yes, I did. Let's actually give you Skadi. Which means I'll have to resave. Okay. Hi there, Golden Silly Face. You look like a target for Myriad Arrows.
This enemy seems strong. Please be careful.
My weapon is ready.
So, this is the Soul Seeker. I described the Soul Seeker as kind of a souped-up version of Koromaru. Its main attacks are fire and darkness. It is not resistant to Strength Bind and Agility Bind. It has an enormous magic stat, so it'll be hitting you very, very hard, and it can turn you to stone. It can, in fact, hit an entire row for stone. So if you're on the P3 route, especially if you're on Risky, you might want to bring some homunculi here. So it might be worth it to step into the 3rd floor of the Inn of a Pride exhibit to get enough of the items you need to make homunculi. But anyway, this thing is about to be trivialized, hopefully. Hopefully. So let's go with Mataru Kaja. I guess we'll not set up Shura Tensei just yet. I will actually have her... yeah, there's a lot of these. I'll probably have to, because Power Charge lasts 3 turns, that's 3 turns, that is kind of permanent. Yeah, there's a lot of these. I need to make sure that I get all of these buffs going before I attack. I'll go for Dragon Cry first. I suppose Koromaru can Masuku Kaja here. Teddy will just straight up go for Salome's Kiss. I really need to get Agility Bind or Panic on this thing. And Naoto will go for Mabufu to set up some Mind-Charged Icy Paradises. Actually, one of those buffs is going to get overridden, isn't it? I shouldn't have used Masuku Kaja, because Aigis only has 3 buff slots. Oh, I need to get rid of Fear off of Aigis, or she will definitely be annihilating herself. Well, that was lucky that that missed Naoto. Okay, Aigis is under the effect of Dragon Cry. Please get Agility Bind. Good. Agility and Strength Bound. Unfortunately, not Magic Bound.
Leader, if you attack now, the curse will harm you too.
Yeah, Aigis currently has 3 buffs active. Sukukaja will get overwritten by Power Charge. But, okay, I think I can actually go for this now. Could get some boost with Mabufula. Okay, let's go for Power Charge next, and you're going to use a Patra Gem to quickly get rid of that, and Teddy's going to go for Mabufula, I guess, and then Naoto will be using Mind Charge, except we'll also have to cure her of Curse, because otherwise she'll be doing ridiculous damage to herself. Double Charge. I still find it weird how inconsistent they are about it's either Power Charge and Mind Charge, or Charge and Concentrate. And in SMT3, it's Focus, and I think the other one is still Concentrate or Mind Charge, I forget. You attacked physically? When you're Strength Bound? I don't get the AI sometimes.
Naoto-kun has been cursed. It's dangerous to attack now.
If I attack now, it may backfire.
Okay, Master Kaja, Mataru Kaja, Power Charge. I guess is not quite ready to go yet. Let's see what we do here. Yes, Mediarama. I need to keep Igus healthy because she's about to... Scratch that. I need to keep Igus topped up on SP because she has no SP for Shura Tensei. She actually can't do this turn because of reasons, so she's actually going to instead use this turn to go Orgia because that doesn't cost any SP, and you're going to Patra Gem Naoto because Naoto isn't boosted, so Koromaru will be going first. I could try setting up a Silent Circle, or I could just go for Tentarafu, just for... I want insurance in case the Agility Bind wears off. And you will go for Icy Paradise boosted by Mind Charge and Tarukaja. So it's a lot of setup here, but when the setup phase is over, things are going to get really fun. Let's see how much damage this does. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. And that's the least powerful thing we'll be doing in this fight. A nice miss there. A nice Drain Fire there. Please still be Agility bound.
Still in Orgia mode.
Okay, good.
Her attack power is up. Full power.
Okay, he just needs to stay Agility bound for one more turn. I'm kind of nervous about this, actually, but hopefully... Yeah, you'll see that even that ridiculous Mind Charge barrage from Naoto barely did any damage to this thing in terms of its health bar. That will change soon. I guess I can go for... Oh, she lost Dragon Cry. That's what I've written. That's actually really annoying. You actually go for Mataru Kaja again. I guess actually has to set up Shura Tensei now, I think. Or she can go for... No, Orgia mode will wear off if that happens. If I don't get one of the buffs in, it really doesn't matter. The full setup is pure overkill. I need to figure out what the best way to just get all of the buffs in is, but... right, what will you do? Actually not sure. Just randomly attack, I don't know. No, actually, I want to give Teddy a little bit of SP so he can use Salome's Kiss again, just in case I need to. And Naoto will once again go for Mabufu and try and go for another Mind Charge. Not that I'll probably need it. I think that's just barely enough SP to use another Salome's Kiss, actually. Mataru Kaja is up again.
Summoning Palladian.
Shura Tensei time. She is going to be losing half of her HP every turn. Oh no, don't... Okay, good. In fact, actually, because Orgia mode counts as a status effect, it means that Igus is immune to petrification while Orgia mode is active.
Koro-chan has a curse on him. It's dangerous for him to attack.
So yeah, Orgia mode is overpowered in several ways. Okay, Mataru Kaja and Power Charge. And Orgia mode and Shura Tensei. That should be enough. Dragon Cry on top of all that's probably overkill. I guess I can go for Mabufula. Wow, I'm really lucky here. The Strength Bind wore off, but the Agility Bind did not, and that's all I need. Aha! You're about to see something really special here. I wanted to show this in at least one fight, and I guess this is probably a good enough time to do it, because this thing would just take way too long otherwise. It just has so much HP. And I can probably throw in a Link for good measure. If only I had, Ice Link. Teddy's actually not going to attack just in case I need to Salome's Kiss it again later. Just in case it survives this, I have a Mind Charge incoming. I doubt it will survive, though. Wait for it. Come on. Not quite yet. Almost here. Probably could have brought Shinjiro from Mataru Undo as well, but here we go! And that's why Myriad Arrows combined with all of those effects is overpowered. So, that thing, yeah, that you just saw, I think it only died, it died to even just 3 of those hits. It didn't even take the full thing. That was just...
present. I am glad
Yes.
you are safe.
No more enemies.
My power is unparalleled!
Like I said, I wanted to show that off at least once. I'm definitely not going to be using that in any major boss fight from now on, because... And that wasn't even with Dragon Cry, by the way, so... I can't help but just go completely insane at that happening, because it's just... I think the only thing in an RPG I've ever seen that rivals that in terms of stupid amounts of damage in a single attack is certain setups in Xenoblade Chronicles X that are way too complicated
I'll
for
be
my
counting on
feeble
you.
mind to comprehend sometimes, but, I love that. That is just like, yeah, again, I don't recommend doing that in major boss fights unless you want them to be a complete anticlimax, but yeah, that was an option, and like I said, that is not even with Dragon Cry, and its defense was not even debuffed. Anyway, let's take our mind off of that by doing a Zen and Ray shipping